Well, hi. Today's Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. It was a busy day yesterday, and I think today is going to be even busier. A lot of folks to go out and interview, people to talk to, have another candidate interview coming up today that we'll be bringing you very, very soon. And again, that mayor election and city council election in Council Bluffs coming up on November 4th. So make sure that you get it on your calendar, and we want to see a good turnout. We talked about this before, that historically turnouts on the off national election years when you have a local election just aren't that good. But the people that are running have more to do with your everyday life and the decisions they make here than the national elections. So it's very, very important that you get out and have your voice heard. And you can go back and watch some of the candidate interviews we've already done. And we're looking forward to bringing some more of those to you before election time. On today's show, we're going to visit with our old friend Dave Zimmerman. He is the market president for Availa Bank in Council Bluffs, and talk with him about some of the different things that are going on in the community and what it is that he sees is really important to pay attention to. And one of those things is this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month and seeing the support as a community pulls together for a common cause. So Dave Zimmerman of Availa Bank will be our guest today on the show. If you're feeling stuck in uncertainty, conflict, or miscommunication, there's a book out there. It was written by local author Carol Horner, and it's called The Spiral of Accountability. It's your guide to breaking free from the fog that clouds decision-making and relationships. You can learn how to recognize negative cycles. And here's the thing, and I fall into this, that I start getting to where I'm sitting in the right chair, and I'm not interested in hearing anyone else's point of view because I'm right. And you need to pay attention to me because I'm right. Well, Carol breaks through all of that. And with this book, it's really, really good. And you can find it on her website, spiralofaccountability.com, and also available on Amazon. Looking for some place for lunch today? Well, head on out to the Mile Away in Council Bluffs, this family-run bar and grill, your go-to for mouth-watering wings, unbeatable weekly specials, and a welcoming atmosphere that feels like home. Don't forget, tonight, it is $5 burgers and fries night with the purchase of a drink. And you can swap those fries out for tots if you want. I know that they'll do that. But this is a great burger. It's not like one of those small little, tiny cocktail-sized burger. It's a half-pound burger. And you're gonna leave full, and you're gonna leave satisfied, and you're gonna have a great time because you're gonna be hanging out with all of your friends. So go to the Mile Away. It is on Old Lincoln Highway, north of Council Bluffs, and looking forward to seeing you there. Don't forget, Just Sue Creative is here to help you build your business with website design, search engine optimization, content creation, marketing, everything you need to take your company to the next level. Sue has a passion for small businesses, helping them thrive in a digital world. And a great starting point is by visiting her website, justsuecreative.com. Schedule a free consultation. It's very easy. You're going to see a free consultation button there. Click on it. Find a time that works for you. If it's available, it works for Sue, and you're off and running. JustSueCreative.com. Back with us again this morning, our old friend Dave Zimmerman from Availa Bank. He is the market president in Council Bluffs for Availa Bank. Good to see you again, and also, I'm going to say good to have some actual fall-like weather.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Came in quick, didn't it?
Yeah, we just seemed to, we had a very, very late summer, and then somebody threw the switch. And now I actually, as we're recording this, I had a little frost on the car this morning. So we've definitely reached fall. And being October, I know you see these things a lot around town right now quite a bit. Of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October. So a lot of pink outs going on at the high schools, at different games. We see folks writing encouraging messages out on the business windows. And it's one of those times, I think, that everybody just kind of pulls together for one common cause.
Right. Yeah. And I think a great cause too. Cancer is a terrible disease, and obviously there's more than breast cancer out there, and they're all terrible, but it's a month that our community does come together. And you see pink kind of everywhere. It's the one day a year I will wear pink. And we buy shirts for all the employees to wear as well. And we do a jeans day and collect $5 for a donation and that too. So yeah, definitely one that I think everybody knows somebody that's been affected, right?
Yep.
Everybody knows somebody with cancer, and the dollars for research are important. So, hopefully someday we can say it's been eradicated.
That would be great. I know that, well, I lost my own father to a rare form of blood cancer, and you're exactly right. It has touched everyone. And you don't have to go very far into a family tree to find someone that it is directly affected. And that's why I think these types of things have the effect of pulling communities together, because it is a shared experience.
Right. Yeah, the more things that pull people together, the better. There's plenty out there to divide people, and but when people come together, I think a lot of good things happen. And this, when you unite around these types of things and raise money for it, it's good. My mom battled breast cancer and got the all clear earlier this year. Got it reported out a couple months ago, so that was a victory for us. We were happy that she battled it and won. And like you said, everybody knows somebody. We've had employees battle and win it, thankfully, and it's one of those cool things that the whole community is around. Um, we're getting more. Everybody gets more creative with it too. I was watching the Nebraska football game, as long a game as it was to watch, but they had the pink on their helmets and pink shoes and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool seeing it on television like that as well.
I catch you out walking around downtown. I see you out there getting some exercise through the day quite often. So I know that you've personally seen a lot of these different messages on the businesses and things like that. And if I remember right, I thought I saw some young people that were doing some of the lettering on the 100 block. That they were out there handling that. And I know the schools get very involved with it. And a lot of and it's not just the volleyball teams. It's also the football teams and other teams in the fall as well. And it's just kind of saying the same thing over and over, but I think it needs to be said over and over, that finding things that can draw us together and remind us that, hey, we are all walking the same journey here, even when we do have different opinions.
Yeah, yeah, no, I would agree. And as we come into the fall here, it won't be long, and there'll be a blizzard, and everybody help each other.
Wait.
Each other out in the
No.
blizzard.
I don't. I'm knocking on wood. I think the desk is made
Hopefully
of wood.
not. Hopefully not. It reminds me, years and years ago, I had a customer who, gosh, this is probably 20 years ago, and she was in her 80s, and she told me that year she came in and she said, it's going to be a rough winter. I'm like, well, how do you know? And she said, well, my dad told me. So now you're going from an 80-year-old to her father, that if the birds are nesting high in the trees, it's going to be a rough winter. And that year she said, I've been watching the birds and they've all been nesting really high in the trees. I said, oh, okay. And sure enough, that year she was right. So I don't know if that's an always right thing or not, but that's what their family always watched, was the birds, and that would help them understand if it's going to be a lot of snow or not as much snow. And I can't say that I usually watch the bird nests, but whenever winter comes around, I think about some of those old wives' tales and maybe farmers' almanac things, and it's always interesting to think about.
I had somebody just telling me the other day about the little black caterpillars, whatever those things are, that have the band on them. And is it the wider the band, the worse the winter? I don't even know what direction it goes.
Yeah, I've seen something like that too. Yeah. I've never committed it to memory, but yeah.
And or there's the old adage. Then this was something my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. June Huff, told me back in the late 70s, that whatever date it is of the first snow, that's how many significant snowfalls we're going to get in the wintertime. And I don't know that that's true, but that was what she used to say. So, and I remember counting that year, and she was really close.
Well, let's hope for snow on December 2nd, and we can have it on the 2nd and maybe
That
Christmas
perfect.
Day.
Yeah, Christmas,
Uh,
December 2nd and Christmas Day. That's it. And after that, we want spring-like weather again, but I don't think it works that way that
yeah.
way around here. Uh,
President Ski Hill might say a little more snow, but
I follow you on social media, and you put a great post out there about uh, the farmers market and how great it was this in the popularity, seeing it grow and things like that. And I know that it's a favorite of yours to go down and just kind of take it in at the end of a Thursday during the late spring, early fall, and summer months.
I enjoy it. I think it's great because you get small businesses that come together and these guys and ladies they work all year long, especially if you bring in, fruits and vegetables. There's the harvest, but there's a lot of the work that goes into getting that ready, and then the business side of it of making sure you've got enough cash for to transact for folks, and then you've got the different arts and crafts that go down there. And but you see people of all walks
Mm-hmm.
that attend it, and I've seen the number of folks increase as well. So the reach that they're getting for the market it is increasing. I think the city collaborates really well with the chamber to have the street closed off, and there's been music, and I don't know. I think it's a bright spot every Thursday in town that can be ready. They extended it by another week this year because the weather was great. They're already doing planning into next year. What can be done as far as contacting vendors, and is there any changes and things that can be made. So I think it's a wonderful thing. One of many things that the chamber and other members of the community are engaging in. So, and for me, it's nice because, I just walk right out the front door here and
Right.
go see it. And Anyway, I got to know a lot of the vendors that were there this year too. Fun time. And I think I even got to know a few of the folks that were walking around. You see kind of the regular
Mm-hmm.
people walking around too, and that's good as well. So,
Well, there are also going to be some of those same vendors at Winterfest, which is going to be coming up towards the end of, I think it's November 22nd, whatever that Friday is.
yeah,
And so that is still another chance to get to visit some of those vendors. And I think that, you catch a different feel, especially because Winterfest typically is dark. Uh,
right.
as opposed to the daytime, and it's going to be a little chillier. So, would love to see everybody come out, and that's another community event that's right in the hub in Bayliss Park that is always well attended, and the kids love it. There's a ton of kids down there.
Last year it was packed.
Yeah.
And they had, I mean, all kinds of kids, and then you light the trees, and Bayliss is lit up, and oh, it was packed last year. And then the hot chocolate, was
Mm.
flowing. Of course, coffee as well, but
Yep.
yeah, fun event.
Well, we're going to be over at the Masons at the Masonic Lodge. We'll be doing the warming station over there again this year, and I have heard that the have some Christmas carols going on with the Shriners,
Cool.
bringing their group over. So it's a chance to warm up a little bit, stop over, get some cider or hot chocolate, and head back out into the fun in Bayliss Park. So that's all coming. It's going to be here before you know it. It's like a month away. Just that quick.
Everybody I've talked to this year, talked about how the year's gone by so fast, and I started thinking, it's my age as I get older, but I've been talking to younger folks too, the 25-year-olds, and they're like, no, it feels like this year just flew by. So it's kind of been on fast forward for everybody I talk to, and maybe during the winter and the Christmas months it'll slow down. People can enjoy friends and family and enjoy that a bit. But it's funny how you've got periods of time when it just feels that way. Like you're on that treadmill and everything's moving pretty quickly, and uh, not that it's sometimes moving fast is really good, but when you look back at your year, it's like, oh man, already another year older, and what's happening next, and it's pretty amazing, I guess.
Yeah, it's happening for me, and I think it's just because I'm busy. And producing two daily shows like this one, this being Morning Coffee, and the other one, Local Roots. Uh, it feels like it's about a day and a half, and I'm back to Friday again. And it just keeps rolling on and on and on. But I think also that the response that I've gotten from the shows, and I know that you've been very giving me encouraging words quite a bit from that, is indicative of the types of communities that we live in. And it's not just Council Bluffs. I think it's other communities around Pottawatomie County and Mills County and elsewhere in Southwest Iowa that community is important. And I was just thinking about this earlier today, that it's something that's just kind of ingrained into us, whether it be on a personal level or like yourself on a business level, because I know that you have volunteered a lot of your time with different organizations and getting involved. Serving as chamber president for a while, and other boards that you've sat on, that it's something that unites all of us. And we see that the more you support the community, the more the community supports back. And it's one of the things that I really love about Council Bluffs.
Yeah, that's what I like what you're doing here, and others do too. To tell the story about the community is important. We don't have, and we talked last time a little about the newspaper, not, unfortunately, not being as big a part of it, but where that has maybe scaled back a little bit for a lot of reasons. There creates opportunities for other ways to tell the story and keep the community alive and going. And you're a big part of that, and I think a growing part of that. Then you've got other little publications that can do it too. But events like we've talked about today, I think, are important. You've got businesses now. So we've seen a real confidence in the business community. I would say it's kind of been growing as the year has gone on, which is good. And some of that, I think, is partially, a mindset that maybe interest rates might be coming down a little bit. We've seen a little bit of reduction in that, but I think some of it's just they see Council Bluffs as an opportunity where things can happen. And you've got small business owner and large business owners that are excited about, what they can do, and they want to set up shop and they want to grow, and excited to hear what you've got coming here down the pipe here soon. And I think all of that leads to really what we've talked about a lot, is that there's a bright future for Council Bluffs. And when you see people signing up for ribbon cuttings and opening a new business, or we've expanded and they're inviting folks in to come see it, all that is so good. And I know the leadership group kicked off, and Matt Kluver, who is our branch manager here, is attending that this year. And they did the Council Bluffs Heritage Day this last week. And he came back the meeting, and I was mind blown, because I could not believe all of the things that I didn't know about in Council Bluffs.
I hear
But
that
now I
about.
feel like I'm an expert in some areas.
Yeah, I hear that every time there's a new leadership class, and they kind of start off the classes with those and talk about the history of Council Bluffs. People come back from it. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. And I personally have run across some of the things that the house that I used to live in up on Franklin, goes up the hill, and there's a big hill in the back. And towards the top of the hill, I found a cache of whiskey flasks that were all stacked like this on top of each other sideways. And then I found a brass corner, which I'm sure was to a leather case that I'm convinced had been buried there however long ago.
Right.
And all of these whiskey flasks nothing was in them. They were empty, but kind of made me wonder, would this go back to Prohibition time? Maybe somebody in that area was burying these things, and so nobody could find them. And now suddenly they're just the ground is eroded away enough that they started tumbling down the hill. That's how I found them.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that there's a lot of folks in town that history is a part of what they do, and they keep that alive, and all that's cool. They got the Dodge House, you've got the museums, and that. So people that have that history as a passion, it's important too, so they can continue to tell. I was in a meeting the other day, and somebody said something about they had a relative, like a nephew or something, where they didn't talk about World War II in school anymore at his particular school. And I sat there and I said, gosh, to the person who was involved in a museum, I said, for me, I think history is important to study because if you don't study it, doesn't it tend to repeat itself? And she's like, yes, yes, exactly. So, and that's a passion that she's got, so learning that history is always important. And I think, the older we get, the more important we think it is for the younger folks. I remember being a young person thinking, but then, you look back, it's like, oh, that was so important, and ages and stages, I guess. But
Well, it also, here's the hard part about that, about guys our age. If you take a look at the time frame of where we are now going back to World War II, you do that same distance from where we were at when we were in school going back to that same time distance, and you're back at around 1890. And I hate to be the bearer of information there on the math, but I'm trying to remember what we were taught around from that time in school versus because we learned a lot about World War I, but even more about World War II, I think.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
From the time that I started school, we were only 30 years removed from it.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind.
Yeah.
It just, it seems that the time has gone by that quickly. And when you look at the time difference, it's kids today, they look at things differently. They talk about us and they say, what was it like back during the 1900s? Oh man, don't say that.
My daughters will do that. Hey, back in the olden days, I'm like, oh, were the 90s that long ago?
Yeah, I still remember the first time that I heard the Clash on a classic rock station and I about drove into the ditch. This is not right at all.
It's funny how it goes.
Well, listen, Dave, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the work that you continue to put into the community and for your support with what Availa Bank does. And I know that the proximity of your branch there, sitting just across the street from Bayliss Park, you're attached to a lot of that history that you can see from the building that you're in and looking out at the history of the park. And just down the street, you've got the park buildings right next to you, and then you've got the museum, the Railroad Museum, and all of it there. So you come by it honest, I think, of your desire to support and make sure that we're remembering all of the history that we have here at Council Bluffs.
Yep. No, it's fun to be a part of this community, and anything anybody does to get involved is just better for everybody.
You bet. All right. We'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yep. Thank you. Goodbye.
Service Master Restore by Schmader knows it can be hard to get back to normal if you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke, or maybe you just have a mold problem. You might be left with all sorts of questions about how you're going to get everything back to normal. Service Master Restore by Schmader will restore your space by offering quality commercial and residential restoration services in Council Bluffs and the surrounding area. Give her a call, 402-339-9911. And technology should work for you, not against you. ThinkSpace IT provides expert IT solutions to keep your business running smoothly and securely. From cybersecurity and cloud services to network management and tech support, they simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com. Thanks again, Dave Zimmerman from Availa Bank, for being our guest today. Always fun to be able to talk with him. And we've got one more day to go. I'm getting out of the big chair, heading over to my Council Bluffs Business Connection meeting. Don't forget, if your business would like to come visit, we'd love to see you. Send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com. I'll give you all the details. My name is Todd Studer. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.